I am dressed as if it's 40 degrees. It is actually almost 60 degrees and I'm hot. I'm going to hot Pilates. I may be a sweaty mess post class. Like, I think I probably have like 2 extra layers on that I don't need. But it's really nice to feel spring again, to feel sunshine, to not feel like I have to wear 10 layers to go out, because living in a place with seasons, you forget when it starts to get warm. It could also be fall spring, because we do have fall spring very often. Like we could have a snowstorm in 2 weeks and I don't think anyone would really blink an eye at that. They'd be like, yeah, that's totally normal. It's also been a while since I've been to my hot Pilates class, so like a week at least, and I'm feeling pretty sore lately from all my working out. Like, my recovery time, I don't know, it doesn't seem to be enough. I don't know what I'm doing, if I'm doing something wrong, like if I should be doing more. I don't know what the more is. I feel like I'm doing everything. Yes, but this is my Saturday morning cosplaying as a rich lady that goes to Pilates every day that I love doing. I'll see you after class. Right, happy Saturday. I finally replaced some of my masks. I ordered a bunch of things from Amazon. I'm trying out this Beauty of Joseon ground rice and honey mask. I love Korean skincare. Problem is, a lot of times all of the labeling and things are going to be in Korean. Totally makes sense. I just wish it would maybe say, okay, how long to leave it on. That's all I need to know. But it did come with this spoon. So, gonna shave my face. Face oil, dermaplaner, and also I think if you do this like right before you put any kind of mask on, it really helps the product soak into your skin more. So I try to do this at least once a week, usually on the weekends, because that's when I have the time for it. I have really dry skin, so anything super hydrating, it's for me. You run probably a little bit oily. I don't know if all these products would necessarily work for you, but for the dry skin eczema girl, these will work for you. Okay, this is how it looks like on the little spoon. It looks like oatmeal. It said take an appropriate amount, and I don't know if that's an appropriate amount. We'll see. So I'm gonna put my mask on, and then I'm gonna watch Running Point on Netflix. I don't know if you've seen that, but I just started today. It's really good. Really good. Smells like rice. Oh, well, it's rice. It smells like it, actually. Yeah, I don't know why that was shocking. I just didn't think it was actually going to smell like rice. Not an appropriate amount. This is how the mask is looking. It's actually supposed to be like an all-rounder mask. I promise that's a mask and not my skin. It's supposed to help with like pores, exfoliating. I'm not 100% sure what sebum is. I see that a lot in skincare videos, but don't know. Yeah, so we'll see, to help you have more of a glowy skin. I don't know how much longer I have on my timer, but I'm gonna try this out. Since I bought a whole jar, better make me glow. Oh my god, my skin does feel really soft. And I gotta say, there is a little bit of a glow, but could that be in my mind? 100%. But there is a little bit of a glow. I do see it. Doing my everything shower. We're gonna do my nails. I really wanted to get a pedicure too, but I just don't think that's gonna happen today. I might need to go at another time, which, whatever. I am not Superwoman. So this is usually the setup for the nails. Sometimes I'll face the other way so I can watch TV, but I have my laptop here because sometimes it's just easier to have a smaller screen. I have to control with the remote. I can just do my laptop. I talked about this in my favorites video, if you want to watch it. I basically kind of bought a nail kit to do my own gel nails because I really like doing my gel nails. I could do a deeper video on this if I want. But basically, I have a mini salon here to do gel nails, and I made sure to buy stuff like they actually use in the salon, just because like the chemicals, and I want my nails really healthy. So I use a lot of the D&D brand personally. But yes, I'm gonna do my nails. I'm trying out the Aura ring. I don't know how this is gonna go. It's my first time, so I'll let you know. Taking off the Aura ring because I don't think I can put that under the UV lamp. And I'll put a picture here of what I'm going for because I saw it on Instagram. These rarely work out how I think they're gonna work out, but we'll see. So we have a wooden cuticle pusher, cuticle remover, cuticle nipper, UV protection gloves for when I use the UV light, and a metal cuticle pusher. I am by no means an expert. I'm more like a DIY expert, but what you want to do is you want to prepare your cuticles really well before you even start to put on any kind of nail polish. So I am putting a little bit of cuticle remover and using the metal pusher to push my cuticles as far back as I can. If you want to use a wooden cuticle pusher, it's a little bit more safe, and I would use that before you put the cuticle remover because the wooden tip kind of gets soggy from the cuticle remover. But I put a little bit remover on, I push it back with the metal pusher, and then I use the nippers to cut any kind of like dead hangnails, dead skin, etc. that's going to get in the way of the gel polish. And you want to spend like a decent amount of time on this. I would say a majority of the time it takes me to do my nails is actually prepping said nails versus applying the polish, but I would take a good amount of time on this to make sure you're getting as much of the cuticle push back or cut, because that's going to ensure that whatever polish you put on your nails is going to be long lasting and have a smooth application. Then after cuticle prep, you're going to want to use the base gel. I'm using the D&D brand. Like I said, you could actually buy the base and the top gel like in a little bundle. And I find that it's best to do like 1 or 2 fingers at a time and make sure that the coat is even, that there's no patches or spots missing, because that can happen with base gel. And then this is super important: when you put your hand underneath the UV light, make sure you're keeping track of whether there are heat spikes. You could see me kind of take my hand out when it gets too hot, because if you leave it in there while there are heat spikes, you could damage your nail beds, and you should take advice from a girly who that's happened to and not do that. And let's talk about the gloves. Like I said, they're UV protection gloves, and normally if I remember to put on sunscreen, I'll do that too. I just didn't do that in this instance, but they do help protect the skin that is on your hands while they're under the UV light, because it's basically like if you were out in the sun for a really long time and you're going to need some UV protection. And then from there, it's pretty straightforward. I picked a light pink color. I wanted more of like a nude nail situation this time, but pick your favorite color and apply 1 to 2 coats of gel polish and curing it in between each coat. D&D in particular, if you use it, the more coats, the more opaque the color will be, like depending on the shade. And because this is a really sheer light pink, I needed about 2 or 3 coats to get a like light pink, whitish color on my nails. And even though I was going for a design, I totally couldn't get it, even though it looked really simple. So I did what I always do, is I just throw a bunch of chrome powder on it to make it look pretty. And here's the final product. I thought in the sunlight made it look best, but I really wanted like a nude pink, and then I put like a iridescent chrome powder over it. Kind of gives it like a mermaid effect, because my initial pattern in my head did not work at all. So we just went with really simple today, and I really love them. So I know it's almost April, and basically almost the end of Q1 if you count the year in quarters. But truly, I still haven't made my vision board this year, okay? And I think that's fine because I've decided to get into this year very slowly, not dive right in. So I took the time on Sunday night to make my vision board and I set the vibes first, okay? I made sure to light a nice smelling candle. I had my dimmed lighting. I muted it here, but I also put like a meditation kind of flow playlist on to really get the vibe ready for me to work on my vision board. So I have been making vision boards for maybe the past 5-ish years. I started when I was in grad school just so I could really like hone in on what I wanted, what my goals were, and what I wanted my life to look like. Currently, I have been listening to the book Manifest by Roxy Nafusi on Spotify. I listen to this every morning while I'm getting ready. I get through a chapter or so. And she really breaks it down if you want to go and look at the specifics of this process, because that's what I'm following. But basically what she recommended was that maybe start writing it down instead of just going straight into making the vision board. So she suggested dividing your life into different categories such as personal, career, hobbies, and like house and home. So I went with that kind of template and I just started writing what I really wanted in 6 months, 2 years, 5 years, just because these were all things I knew I wanted within, I would say, maybe the next 10 years. And something that I have been personally practicing is picking a word or maybe 2 to 3 words that's really going to be the theme for the year that I'm making the vision board. So last year, my theme word was peace. I wanted to do whatever I could to create as much peace in my life that I could. This year is a little bit more different. This year, I'm focusing on 3 words. They're abundant, confident, and calm. So that's what I start writing out in my Canva file. And I think Canva is the easiest way to do this digitally. Obviously, you can use things like PowerPoint or Google Slides, Pinterest, whatever you want to make a vision board. I think it's just easiest for me to collage on Canva. And then what I'll do is I'll go through everything in each category and I'll pick a picture that's going to represent something in my mind that fits what I want to put on the vision board. So for example, I am really manifesting a fully remote job to allow me to work from home because currently I am a hybrid worker and I commute, which takes up a lot of my time and energy during the week. What I picture in my mind is like the most aesthetically nice work from home office that is possible. And I just kind of go with those vibes and scroll through Pinterest until I find one that I think really speaks to me. And then I copy and paste, stick it onto my Canva file. And I'll just keep repeating this process for all of the different things that I have on my vision board. And if there isn't a clear visual way to display something that I have on my vision board, for example, I really want to wake up feeling grateful and energized, I will look for a really nice graphic quote that kind of embodies the same vibe, the same energy as what I'm intending. And then once I have everything I want on my vision board, I'll play around with the aesthetic. What font do I want to use? What color scheme do I want to use? Does everything seem to be cohesive? Because you want to make it visually appealing to your taste and to your aesthetic because it's your vision board about your own life. So it would make no sense to make it visually unappealing. And this is something new I'm trying out this year. Normally, I'll only make a vision board and make it fit the wallpaper dimensions of my laptop because I know that I'll be on my laptop constantly. But something I wanted to do this year was make sure my vision board was also going to be on my phone because I constantly look at my phone, probably more than my laptop. So I took the same vision board and I just resized it to a iPhone wallpaper size and I rearranged it a little bit, but it's still the same contents that I have in my computer wallpaper. And here's the final product, both for the computer and the iPhone. I honestly really love it. I think it fits my vibe, it fits my aesthetic, it fits what I want. And even if these things aren't necessarily going to happen immediately in 2025, I know that I have it there to kind of focus in on for however long it takes to make whatever is on this vision board happen.